Hey folks, how you all doing? Lloyd here, or Mr. Hats as I'm known as in the VC. So this is a bit of a follow-on video from the record fair video I posted a couple of days ago, sort of an extension of it, where I'm actually going to show you and go into a bit more detail about the records and CDs that I purchased. It's a perfect video for anyone who doesn't like 20-minute videos. I know there's a lot of people out there just like the short 5-10 minute videos, and this is going to be one of those 10-minute videos. So we'll just quickly look actually at the records that I purchased at the record fair. This one was $25. Crazy Horse Loose. I think this was 1973, 1972. So most people would remember Crazy Horse as being Neil Young's backing band on a hell of a lot of his records. Since his second studio album, everybody knows This Is Nowhere. So this is their second studio album. They released about 6 or 7 over the decades. Their best stuff was in the 70s, in my opinion. It had that Neil Young vibe to it still. On their debut album, they have a track called I Don't Want to Talk About It, and that was written by Danny Whitten. That song was made famous by Rod Stewart a couple of years after that. So they are obviously really good songwriters, because Rod Stewart did a cover and had a massive worldwide hit with it. But yeah, this is a haven't heard this one yet. It is their second album. I have their first and their third, and now obviously their second one as well. So this is really good to have. It's on the Reprise label as Neil Young. Was on the Reprise label as well, which was actually a label created by old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra. Also picked up this one. I used to have this on vinyl many years ago. I had the half-speed mastered version from the mid-1980s, and it's Dire Straits' third album, Making Movies. This one was $6. I couldn't pass this up. Still got the lyric insert in it, which is it's blemish free, crease free. So it's a really good addition. Picked this one up for $25. It was listed at $30. I only had $25 in my wallet at the time. I asked the guy if he'd accept $25, showed him there was nothing else in my wallet, and he took it. So Kiss, Music from the Elder. This was 1982, I believe. It was a concept album, come almost prog rock style album. Failed drastically. It was the start of the end for Kiss in that period. No one wanted to hear concept album by Kiss or prog rock serious sounding album by Kiss, when they just had 2 albums of pop stuff from 1979's Dynasty, as the Americans say, but we're in Australia, so we're going to call it Dynasty. That's a play on words with what Paul Stanley says, by the way. And obviously the Unmasked album. People didn't really want to hear that sort of stuff. I mean, the single off this album was World Without Heroes, so it just tells you Kiss were finished by this stage. No one wanted a Gene Simmons ballad as a single, either. But yeah, really good album. Be pretty close to being my favourite Kiss album. Again, that got pinched by someone many years ago. I lent it to someone, never returned it. Also picked up this one for $15. Original. Culture Club's first album, Kissing to Be Clever, complete with Obi strip. And yeah, it is actually made in Japan, as it says there. So it's not just an Obi strip that's been stuck on a local release. It's still on the green and red Virgin label. So yeah, really good to pick up that. It's interesting because Lynn and I were talking about this album about a week and a half ago. We're on the radio. They were playing "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?" and she said to Lynn, "Oh, I used to have this album on cassette. Blah 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 blah. Would really like to get it again because it also had "I Tumble For You" on it, which was the other big hit off it. I really should get this album at some point." Then bugger me at the record fair as I'm looking around. It's front in a stack of records, so it was just pure coincidence. So I had to get that again. Real dance orientated album as opposed to the pop blue-eyed soul of their follow-up, Colour by Numbers. Then we get on to the CDs that we purchased. Mike Batt Tarot Sweep. Never had anything by Mike Batt. I have a friend in the UK who swears by his studio albums, whether it's instrumental or vocal, I'm not sure, but he thinks he's one of the greatest musicians ever. Mike Batt was predominantly known for creating the sound of the Wombles. So this will be interesting. This was $1 from my good friend John Mav from Beat Up Records and Vinyl. He's actually on the other video, so pick that up from him. Also picked this up, never owned it before, debut album, Presidents of the United States of America. I picked up this because I loved the singles Lump, Peaches and June Buggy back in the day, and I got to admit they're the only 3 good songs on the album. But for $1 you can't go wrong with those 3 great songs. Also picked up another Talking Heads album, Naked. This was in the mid-1980s, I think this one, wasn't it? Late 1980s, 1988. The single of this one was Nothing But Flowers. That was the big hit here in Australia anyway. So yeah, it's good to have another Talking Heads album in my collection. Next up, I messaged John a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He had a video up with what he was going to put at the record fair with his stall, and I noticed scanning through his video he had a couple of Marilyn Manson there, so I checked which ones they were, and he put them aside for me. So for $1 I've got Eat Me Drink Me. Yeah, the sleeves, the case is cracked, but I think that happened in the car on the way home. And Hollywood. So yeah, I'm a big Marilyn Manson fan. Well, I'm not a big Marilyn Manson fan. I own about half their catalogue, and I really like the sound. I like the sound of Marilyn Manson. This one actually cost me $10, which is expensive for a second-hand CD. I love the Stone Roses debut album. I think it's one of the all-time great debut albums. But came across this one, Second Coming, their second and final album. Never heard it, don't know any songs off it. You could never find it anywhere in Australia when it was released, and it's the first time I've ever seen it, so I thought I'd have to pick it up. A lot of people say this isn't a patch on their debut, which would be understandable because that's such a great album, but I'm glad I've got this now so I can complete my collection of the Stone Roses 2 album collection. So that's the whole discography I've got now. Had to pick up this one. I've never actually purchased this one. Neil Finn and Paul Kelly, Going Your Way. I did see them on that tour that they did. Anyone here from Western Australia, they were at Kings Park in the amphitheatre there back in the day. Brilliant show, and absolutely brilliant on stage together. And yeah, just really looking forward to listening to this album. And finally picked up White Lilies Island, which was the sophomore album for Aussie singer Natalie Imbruglia. A lot of you will remember her for her huge worldwide hit Torn, which was from her debut album. Never heard anything else. Well, I heard her latest album, which was a couple of years ago, which was pretty good as well. But that's it. I have never seen this, never heard it. I don't recognise any songs off it. I'm sure I will when I play it. I'm sure I'll recognise something. Something would have been played on the radio, and that was $1 from John's shop as well, as were most of these. So yeah, that's it folks. That's just a quick video, a bit of a go through of the records that I actually purchased at the record fair. Sorry for doubling up. If you don't like double up videos, sorry about that, but there's some people that don't like extra long 20-minute videos, so this is a 10-minute video. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Leave your comments in the comments section below with what you think of any of these albums, etc. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Give me the thumbs up if you like it. Leave your comments in the comments section below. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Till next time, stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye folks.